Yeah, this ain't your average Happy Meal. Well, at least it's still got some neat toys. Oh, it bites. Are you feeling all right? Looks like he's feeling better and inspired. Guess he's got an eye for crafting. He's gonna fix up this kangaroo. Let's start with some leg extensions. We're gonna need something sharp. The claws are coming out tonight. Next, those paws. Sand them into shape. Of course, we need a hands-on approach. Some clay will help smooth things out. Now it's time for a quick incision. Of course, he's gonna need some teeth. Cover him up with some yellow paint. And here I thought the platypus was weird looking. Next up, why don't we fix up this giraffe? Let's just trim a little off the top. Now grab the heavy artillery. Take what's left and sand it into place. Don't worry, you'll get new legs. A whole bunch. Some clay and wires will help whip things into shape. Just don't forget to make some room for spikes. Looks like dental's included in your makeover package. But even a scary giraffe could use a fresh coat of paint. We can't forget your spots either. Uh-oh. Looks like something's breaking at the zoo. And not just the fights. Hey, a hippo. Let's clean him up. But first, it's lunchtime. Save those bones. We can use them. I'm starting to get star-nosed mole vibes. But we can use some clay around the jaws. Now let's saw off those legs. We can always get new ones. We'll need some clay, spikes, and a pair of red eyes. Just remember one thing about spikes. They can be a real pain in the back or side. Our zoo's almost done, but there's still room for a gorilla. At least what's left of him. We can rebuild him. Let's fill in those limb extensions. Beads and spikes add a needed touch. As do spider legs. My, what big paws you have. And look at those teeth. Of course, pink really isn't his color. Silverback gray, and blood red for those boils. Looks like our zoo's ready. Well, just not for business.
Hey dude, yeah, I'm shooting.
versus Transformer. Wow, you knocked his block off. Careful, Rue's got friends in some high and low places. Of course, it's anyone's fight in the end. Don't forget, Hippo plays the winner. Looks like we'll need new parts and a whole new zoo. Of course, the aquarium can be fun too. These pinchers could use some extensions. grab some broken toys for a few spare parts. Now things are about to get really wired. You can never have too many pinchers. He's ready to rumble, or hit the disco, whatever comes first. Now it's your turn. Think of it like one big puzzle. Well, that's one way to build somebody up. Wow, look at the muzzle on this guy. But a croc doesn't have to be too scary. In fact, why don't we add all sorts of colors? Yeah, go from crab to mantis shrimp, just like that. Now this brings new meaning to 4 eyes. Grab some wires for a brand new exoskeleton. Cover with foil and add a matching tail. Now let's just add a few final touches. And you know who could use some arms. Much better. The red's nice, but a croc needs some scales. Fill up every nook and cranny, even around the arms. Besides, we'll still have plenty of red, just in your mouth. Plus some white teeth and blue lipstick. Wow, guess this guy really is blue. Dabba dee, dabba die. Still, we could always use a splash of green, too. Don't like the color? Well then, just paint over it. You're almost done. Just add a few more pieces. Of course, slow and steady sometimes wins the race. Yeah, you really want to get the drool just right. And those boils looking their bloodiest. So, are you guys ready for a rematch? Careful, I'd avoid those teeth. Didn't I tell you? Well, your Transformers all in pieces. Next time, a little hot glue might help. Okay, guys, roll the dice and see what you get.
Oh no!
Let the Skibidi battle commence. You get a toilet. With all the fixings, some assembly required. What else has this potty got? Another body? Why don't we split this one down the middle? 2 halves make a whole, or whatever this is. Well, the right paint job covers all mistakes. Make sure not to get too much in that hole. And let it dry before you handle it. Your turn. Might as well cut right into it. Hope you like opening tiny plastic bags. Now that that's done, it's time to get building. And just like that, we've got a leg to stand on. Make sure to make some shins. Guess teamwork makes the dream work. Now back to you. Ooh, someone's teeth are coming in. While we're at it, throw on some tusks and fangs. Next, maybe add some nice chain material. You know what pairs well with a belt? Clothes. A study in contrasts. Rags, but make it shine. And you can walk tall with these shoes.
What?
Okay, it's your turn again. Let's whip up a pelvis. Make it sturdy. Look at the chest it needs to hold. Next, we're gonna need some shoulders. And maybe a head to put on top too. Now how about a jacket? Need to keep that mouth warm. Ooh, let's upgrade those hands. And something for the arms. Everything's coming up blocks for this guy. The perfect thing to whip up some arms. But what are we gonna do for hands? Like we have to ask? Let's get building. Now say hello to our not-so-little friend. Hey, look, you're on candid camera. We've got no secrets, but we could use some spare parts. Cover it up with some black clay. Remember, 2 heads are better than 1. So I guess that means 3 are even better. Just remember to add the teeth. Moles don't have eyes or ears, but they've got teeth. Speaking of heads, this guy needs one. And who says pink isn't intimidating? But we're not out of blocks yet. And there's plenty of room for some extra attachments. Ooh, a screen. Someone needs nasal spray. Look, it comes in Platinum Edition. We could use that. You're never fully dressed without a jetpack. Ugh. Hey, would you like some jerky? Of course, it's always important to read the label. They're not that tasty, but it's great building material. Okay, now it's time for these two to flaunt their stuff. Like I said, let the Skibidi battle commence. Don't worry, you can spare a few limbs. I mean, we can always make some more.
A hair clip? Well, it's got some bite. Shame to waste such a good brain. Besides, there's plenty to go around. Bend them into place and whiten them. While we're at it, this guy could use a new coat of paint. Next, we'll need help from our old pal, Pikachu. Bony arms seem to be in style. Grab that antenna. Calm down. They're still screaming. Now just bend that antenna into place. Ditch that shirt, but keep the hanger. Twist it up, and our pal's got a third leg. Use some hot glue to give it some skin. Add some paint. And try them out for a stroll. Now take a tank and slice it in half. Throw some clay on. And close it up like a clam. I think you earned a little grape break. Just make sure you save the seeds. They're a new row of chompers. Of course, some paint will help liven things up. Add some slime. No one likes dry mouth. Let's borrow a foot. And whatever this is. Soon, we'll whip up a skeleton. Add hands. Drip on some dark hot glue. When it dries, add some red. You'll need a good head on your shoulders. Well, a head. And some pants would be a good idea. Plus, a tie just looks classy. Pair with a sort of jacket. A few protective pads wouldn't hurt either. Add some paint to keep things from clashing. Pretty soon, he'll be ready for the battleground. Careful now, 'cause the cavalry has arrived. These titans are back and better, and badder than ever.
What? Yes!
Oops.
Spray on some paint to keep it monochrome, plus shine. It's just the thing to give our car some edge. Strap on a cage on top. Now for something with a little bite. Break off a piece and cover it up with white clay. We're whipping up a new toilet. Don't forget the hole. Looks like we're gonna have to fill it up too.
What?
While we're at it, we need a tank on back. A good plumber is always in demand. Especially one who's an electrician on the side, too. Our toilet's gonna need some special shields. We'll need a nice shape with a strong, sturdy texture. Line the jewels up in a pattern, like bolts. Now add some surface primer to help give it a metallic look. But why settle for silver when you can go for the gold? Just add a few finishing touches and place on top of the wheels. Now let's make something for the front wheels. Add some more primer, and we want the colors to match. Next, let's add some things to keep our rider safe. Add a nice shield right in front. Add some color. And thanks to our levers, it's a convertible. Next, use that cup to make an engine on back and fill it up. Careful, I don't think that's ice cream, or even a cone. But we can still put them to use. Trace the bottom. It'll create a shape that'll fit right inside our new headlights. Next, the tires could use a little extension too. Trim the sticks into shape and cover with paint. Get those engines ready, 'cause our car's ready to hit the road. Let's just take one last look around. Yeah, everything's in check. It's time to show off what a custom paint job can do.